guys, I'm Miss Mila Rose and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be cosplaying as Lucy Heartfilia from Fairy Tail. I'm super excited. I already have my base makeup complete, so I'm going to go ahead and start dipping into some colors and getting my eyes fully done up for the look, because that is the biggest thing that I change with all of these cosplays. So I am going to actually look up some Lucy Heartfilia photos for some inspiration. So I think what I'm going to do, because she does have brown eyes and I have blue eyes, to kind of like offset that color a bit, I'm actually going to use some very natural earthy colors. So I'm going to use some of the Rory, Princess Pearls, and Blanca from my palette right here. And again, this one is Morphe by Lisa Frank. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive right into these colors and get my eyes all done up. So I'm gonna start with some Rory at the base of my eye. And then she has cut in the first place, but anyway, it is doing much better now. And now I can use my glue and the example images to stylize it a lot better. So we're gonna have a chunk of bang that's completely detached going kind of behind the ear. So I'm just gonna take some gel. Have I been calling it glue? I'm not sure. I'm gonna take some gel and I'm going to lather that up in my hand and get this chunk of hair. I'm okay with the fact that it is still wet because I don't want it to be super stiff. I want it to be still kind of soft and flowy. So that is going to be going this way. And then we have a big chunk of the rest of our bangs just kind of falling. I'm gonna grab it. And then this chunk of bang is going to be split into two. We have a very tiny piece, and then we have a thicker piece. So I'm going to put this away for now, and I'm going to take the rest of the hair out and see what it looks like before I dive into wrapping up with this chunk of hair. Well, it could be better, but this is what I have so far for the hair and the makeup. And the wig was a lot of work. I'm still waiting for this to dry. Once it is dry, it'll probably be more malleable so I can shape the bangs a little better. But I am happy with the length because how long it was just not workable for how her wig actually looks or how her hair actually looks. So with that being done and said, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting into full costume, just giving you a back view of the hair. Ooh, without knocking things over. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting into the costume so I can complete this cosplay. Hopefully everything looks really good. And my coffee's full of hair, so luckily I have half a pot and I can get a new cup of coffee. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that before I dive into the full costume. I am back and in full costume right now. So the one thing that I realized that I did not have that was a part of her costume, well, two things actually. She has a black wristband. I don't know if you can see this because my brightness is really, really high right now. Let's turn it down. So she has a black wristband on her wrist, and that is something that I don't have and it didn't come with a costume. I could probably easily DIY it, but I might just forego it for this costume, we'll see. But the other thing was her temporary tattoo on her hand there. So I decided I have a pink highlighter that I can use, and then I took a piece of paper and I traced the fairy tale logo using a dark one, and I did it very light because I was putting it over my phone and I didn't want to scratch my phone. You could definitely print out the thing and then just trace it, but It's not working that good. So I am kind of gonna use this as a base layout and just do the best I can with what it looks like. Now, it could be better, but I think I did an okay job. So I did another mini DIY project just now, just because it was kind of bothering me that I didn't have the wristband, and I thought, you know what, I probably have some sort of materials that I could create something that will work. So it turns out I did. So this right here is actually, I don't know what you call these things, but they're for my curtains. And I guess they just, you know, clasp it on one end, and I had two of these for both ends. So I decided, you know, I don't use these, and I probably will never use these. So I started off by cutting along the Velcro down on both sides, and I got the thickness that I wanted, and then I just cut off the end where I thought it would tail off. And because it's really long in comparison, I had to cut off one of the Velcro pieces so I can reposition that. And then I basically just used Gorilla Crazy Glue on the second Velcro piece so that I could, voila, open up like this. It's a little bit of a sloppy job, but it works, and it looks very close to her wristband, so I'm happy with it. Here is my completed Lucy Heartfilia cosplay. So you saw me get my hair and makeup done, and that was a big part of it. The costume was a little bit hard to figure out, as is a lot of my cosplays these days. So for starters, I actually had to piece this together with multiple orders. So the wig was one order, and then the costume, which actually just came with the shirt, the skirt, and the hairband, was a completely separate purchase. And then the belt had multiple pieces. So all of my keys and the key rings came in here, and I ended up just putting all of the keys onto the key rings, which attached to this belt. The belt is actually extremely generic. I just bought a very generic belt, and I tried to get the color as close as possible without getting really, really thick and bulky. The part that I couldn't get away with is her cosplay actually doesn't have a metal piece on her belt, and that's something that I just couldn't find. So I just had to get a belt that had the metal piece, but I tried to get it as close as possible to the authentic Lucy Heartfilia belt. Here are all of the keys. And the whip, and I believe also this little side piece, were both different. They were both separate pieces. These boots are actually above the knee, but I basically took them and I folded this part over like this because she does have boots that are just below the knee. So that's what I did to get the boots to be as close as possible to the authentic Lucy Heartfilia boots. So that's the cosplay. What do you think? Do you think I did a good job? A lot of this was very DIY, or at least more DIY than I'm used to. I would love to create my own cosplays in the future, but I'm really nervous that I'm gonna fail at it, and then it's just gonna be a waste of money, and then it's just gonna be a broken costume that I can't actually do anything with. But if I ever did create my own cosplay, and I did DIY my own cosplay, the very first one that I want to do is Magilu from Tales of Berseria. I love that costume so much. She's the same voice who does Futaba Sakura in Persona 5. And I love Magilu's character. I know she's a little bit annoying to some people, but I personally love her. Cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this cosplay. Get ready with me. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe, turning that notification button on down below. And I'll see you babes next time with another video. Bye for now. Till next time.